he shares them with his friends at school.
They pee on him.
I don't think so, but someday a teacher's going to be like, they say that they eat pea buns? And I'm like, look, I got a pretty good story for you about my 3.5-year-old. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I'm Jason.
And I'm Jules.
And
we
doing
Filmographies.
And tonight we're talking about
The Good Shepherd.
That's right. FBI agent Sam Maroc, Alec Baldwin, recruits college poetry student Edward Wilson, Matt Damon, to spy on his Nazi-sympathizing professor Dr. Fredericks, Michael Gambon, for America. Edward is also in the Skull and Bones Society, where he meets John Russell Jr., Gabriel Macht, and knocks up John's sister Clover, Angelina Jolie, before leaving to work for the OSS during World War II, where he is trained by Dr. Fredericks, who is now a good guy, I guess, and where he also meets Super Brit Arch Cummings, Billy Crudup. Bill Sullivan, Robert Deniro, who directs this movie, can't physically stand up. He taps Edward and John Russell to help form what will become the CIA, which Edward devotes his life to, at the detriment to his relationship with Clover and his son Edward Wilson Jr., Eddie Redmayne, who also wants to be in the CIA.
Yep.
Phew.
Yeah, it's exhaustive.
Can I tell you that Eddie Redmayne is stupid looking?
Oh, you think so?
I think about that.
Just in general, not specifically
in this movie.
Okay.
I think in the rest of the world, maybe he's doing better now.
Okay.
The whole time I was watching this, I was like, you were stupid looking, but also, you are the Danish girl. Did you ever see that movie? I didn't see that movie either.
Is that where he's transgender?
Yeah.
I didn't see that out of principle.
He looks pretty good.
I don't watch.
He looks much better as the Danish girl than he does as the son of the CIA founder.
This is his theatrical movie debut.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I don't like him in this.
Also, he is only 11 years younger than Matt Damon and 6 years younger than Angelina Jolie when they made this. I guess now, too, because time doesn't work differently than that. Yeah, I thought he actually was a really good choice for Damon's kid.
To be like a dickhead or what?
Just physically.
Okay.
There were some physical characteristics that kind of carried over, mostly in the lower jaw and mouth area. The Good Shepherd, 2006, 2 hours, 47 minutes.
Yeah.
Felt about 5 hours long.
Can I get real with you here?
I hope so.
I liked it. I've already seen this movie. I dreaded watching it. I dreaded watching this more than any of the movies we've had to watch.
Mm-hmm. Can I get real with you?
Maybe Uprising. Yeah?
I liked it too.
Yeah. I had a good time. I didn't feel that it was... It
was long.
It's overly long, but it wasn't a slog.
There was never a wasted space. It isn't like, oh, we're doing this, or, oh, are we over here now?
And on the real?
Yeah.
De Niro?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good director.
Apparently.
Is he just letting the cinematographer do everything? It looked great. This is the 18th Billy Crudup movie.
I'm just going to shoot you here.
Oh, fuck no, please.
Right.
I have 2 kids.
Budget estimated $110 million.
Wow.
Which...
That makes sense, kind of.
A lot of sets, a lot of location
This is
filming.
a big movie, yeah.
It's huge. The stars, just having to do all the fucking cars.
You're going to tell me the sad reality of how much it made, aren't you?
It only grossed worldwide $100 million.
That's better than like 5.
That's better than it probably should have done. Let's see here. A little bit of trivia for you. Robert De Niro had been working on this movie for 10 years as his pet project.
Huh.
Apparently, Wayne Wang was originally set to direct at some point, but through management changes, shit changed. Philip Kaufman was next set to direct. Then it moved to MGM, and John Frankenheimer signed on to make the movie, and he wanted Robert De Niro to star.
What?
This was... Well, because John Frankenheimer died in 2002,
so
it's hard to tell when that would have been.
Doesn't matter.
But Robert De Niro turned it down because he was developing his own spy story, which I guess eventually just became this. One of the 2 movies released in 2006 featuring Alec Baldwin and Matt Damon, the other being The Departed.
Fuck yourself.
I'm tired from fucking your wife.
How's your mother?
Good, she's tired from fucking my father.
This movie was originally offered to Leonardo, who turned down the movie to be in The Departed.
Good call.
Absolutely. Here's where it gets like, this is like a who's who, everybody's connected type of movie, right?
This is going to be like fucking Waking the Dead, where you're like, guess who was almost in this?
I don't know. I guess I didn't realize who Amy Wright played in this movie.
Safe House Operations Manager.
Or who she is.
I don't know who that is.
But her and De Niro appeared in The Deer Hunter in 1978. I wonder if she's related to Robin Wright. Matt Damon and William Hurt both appeared in Syriana in 2005. Amy Wright and William Hurt both appeared in The Accidental Tourist in 88. William Hurt, Billy Crudup, and John Kasban appeared in Too Big to Fail in 2011. Eddie Redmayne and William Hurt appeared in The Yellow Handkerchief in 08.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
I've never heard of that.
Neither have I. De Niro and Crudup both appeared in
Sleepers.
in 96. Very good. Robert De Niro and John Turturro appeared in Raging Bull in 80.
That's his first credit.
And Just What Happened in 2008. Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
What a movie to be like, this is the first. John Turturro, I'll go on record as saying he is one of America's sweethearts.
We fucked up not putting him in the hat.
Please, let me touch your feet.
Big time.
We're going to have to wait till we knock a few people out.
Every time I see him in a movie, I'm just like, yes.
Every time I get to pick somebody, I'm just going to keep picking Crudup till we clear him off the board.
Matt Damon and John Turturro were in Rounders.
Oh, I like Rounders
in
quite a bit.
98 with...
Did you like that?
I did.
I am still up 20 grand from this last time I stick it in you.
Gretchen Mol, Edward Norton.
Eddie Nort, yep. And Gretchen Mol, yeah. Big time. And, of course, Sir Michael Gambon and Billy Crudup appeared in...
Charlotte Gray.
You know it, my friend.
It's fun when they overlap.
And to such an extent... I mean, this is one of those movies where I guess it's just bound to happen, but...
Yeah.
It's nice when it's like Crudup and another actor and this actor and that actor. And
I think this is more what Crudup wants to do.
Absolutely.
These small roles.
With British accents.
We know you've been passing information to the German High Command. Now, I'm going to offer you one of two choices.
Yeah, he's good. He's pretty good at it.
This is his second that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
And he's doing a real Michael Fassbender kind of Brit.
Sure.
Oh, chap. Oh, boy. You know, just ascots and cigars to the fucking hilt, man.
Eventually we'll see them together in the Alien movie.
Yes. I didn't actually look up what else Eric Roth had written, but he's the writer. And De Niro, of course, is the director and also is in the movie to some extent. A little bit. So this movie is going to be a little bit difficult.
De Niro's kind of not great in this.
No, he doesn't fit. He is not... He's an army guy.
I thought he was okay in the first scene he was in, but then when he pops up in the rest of the movie, I'm like...
When he comes to his house?
Yeah. It's like, I don't...
Is that the first scene?
No. The first scene, does he talk to him about... Is it when he fucks Clover? He meets him there at the cabin in the woods?
I don't think he's there. He doesn't pop up for a while.
I feel like he's in it like 3 times. And the last 2 times I was like, no, this wasn't a good choice.
I feel like he approaches him and sends him to Europe. Because he's the OSS head guy. So it must have been right after he ratted out his professor that he approached him. But he was sitting at the time, I think. I think he's always sitting.
Yeah, his feet. He's got diabetes.
I'd get up and shake your hand, but my fucking feet are killing me. Something about too much sugar in my blood and my urine.
Or cutting off pieces of me.
Yeah, man. So this movie is one of those movies that it starts where you pick up halfway through the movie and then jumps back in time. Bounces slightly up to where it starts, and then it goes back, and then it goes to where it starts, and then it moves forward, but then it also kind of goes back a little bit.
Back into the left.
It's all over the fucking place, man. But the basic gist is that Matt Damon is a little bit of a hard-to-read character. He plays it very close to his chest, even as a youth. He writes dynamic poetry that convinces Sir Michael Gambon to make a pass at him using his cane. It's like, dude, if you're going to make a pass at me, you touch me.
Oh, I would not want Michael Gambon to be touching me.
No.
I would prefer the cane.
I guess. Would he use it sexually? Racking it up?
Into the butthole? That doesn't sound good.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah, I suppose.
So Damon's writing some banger poetry.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I love Spectre.
And Gambon is like, you giving me a Gambon.
That's pretty good.
And Damon's like, I don't roll like that. And then he joins the Skull and Bones. There's the guy there, Russell, who's kind of a douche.
Lee Pace?
No, Lee Pace is a different dude.
Oh, well, Lee Pace is the biggest douche in the movie.
I got them confused. This character and Lee Pace.
Lee Pace is a real prick.
He's a shit grin eating, what do they call that?
Pie maker?
Yeah. And so all of a sudden Alec Baldwin rolls up. He's like, hey, I work for the FBI. Your professor is like a Nazi sympathizer.
He's been recruiting faculty members and students to join an organization called the American German Cultural Committee. It's a Nazi front.
I need you to roll deep. You could have had it all, but I need you to really help me out with this one. That's a
Adele?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. It took me a second.
It did. And so he goes to this meeting, and I mean, they're just like open. Hey, here's Hitler's guy. He's going to talk to you for a brief moment.
Well, I think this is slightly before the big attacks, right? This is when it's swelling up in support.
War hasn't been declared yet.
There was pockets of Nazi sympathizers here. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. There was a Nazi rally in Madison Square Garden.
Sure.
At one point. Do you believe that?
In Seinfeld?
No, in reality.
Okay.
There was an actual Nazi rally in Madison Square Garden.
I absolutely believe it, yeah.
People were about it, you know?
But the government was keeping tabs on it because they're like, yeah, no, this isn't like a good situation.
Right. Well, mostly because it's like, hey, we got to watch out for this because it's infringing on our economic interests.
Let's pretend that they cared about people.
And global reach, yeah. It's a real America first, MAGA sort of a thing. Just real isolationist. We don't need to be fucking with European issues. Let's just fuck with our own shit. Let's keep Negroes down, you know?
Yep.
Just good old-fashioned shit.
Oh, you know what? Separate them with interstates.
Which is...
All the Negroes over here,
yeah.
The white people over here.
We'll redline them into areas where we don't want to live, and then we'll carve interstate through those communities.
And what if we work out the voting districts so, like, the white people with the money have the power?
Yeah.
Can we do that? Let's call it gerrymandering.
That's a good idea.
That's good. Gerrymander. That was your idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Jerry, is that? Jerry says yeah. So he does it. He goes to the party. He steals a list of members of this group. And
the Cool Guy Club.
The Cool Guy Club. He's pissed. He's not in it, really, is what it is.
He should be.
He wrestles naked in mud and gets urinated on.
I love your piss, dude.
By Lee Pace.
And
he's like, fuck this, I'm out of here.
And he's like, nah, come back. All right.
All right, yeah, you can keep pissing on me. We're brothers.
Yep, and he becomes a member of the Skull and Bones, which later is documented in the movie Skull and Bones.
Is that the Joshua Jackson movie?
Yeah.
With Paul Walker?
Is it Paul Walker? I was thinking
Skulls,
it was Ryan Phillippe for some reason. But yeah, it is the Skulls.
Yeah. No, it's Paul Walker.
Jordana Brewster?
Jordana Brewster. I don't know if she's in it. I remember Josh Jackson's in it.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Josh Jackson at that point.
Yeah, big time. And so...
That movie sucks.
It does. He goes to Skull and Bones retreat on Deer Island, where they do all sorts of shenanigans.
And he's dating that girl that's hearing impaired.
Oh, sorry. The movie starts with the Bay of Pigs, which he's overseeing, and it's just a disaster.
Bloodbath.
It's not good.
No.
And then it jumps back to his college days. He is dating that deaf girl who I think is banging.
Yeah, she's cute.
She is super cute.
Good move. They seem good together.
They do.
But she fucks up because they're about to bone down one night, and she's like, okay.
What was that about? Just, I was going to gloss over that, but no, let's focus on that.
Yeah, I think she gets nervous, right?
I guess, because it's weird because they're at a jazz club.
He's so chill, too. Like, I don't know that you would get real nervous with him.
No.
He's not, like, aggressive. He's, like, not there.
Yeah, they're at a jazz club. And she goes, I thought we were going to a party. And he goes, oh, no, this is it. She's like, are you embarrassed? Or, people going to make fun of me? That's fine. And he's just like, no, I mean, I just want to hang with you, And then the guy comes out on stage and he goes, Europe just declared war, but keep dancing. And she suddenly goes, get us a room. And he does at a flop house, I guess. And they're hot and heavy. She's kissing on him. She throws her necklace onto his jacket right above the pocket, so that necklace is going in the pocket. And she's like, take off my clothes. And he's like, all right, and then she's kissing on him, and then she goes, yeah, I can't do this. And he goes, oh, okay.
Well, the great news is if you have sex back then, you get pregnant.
Immediately.
So, yeah. Nobody's pulling out.
No, so he takes her home, and she goes upstairs, and he goes, oh, her necklace is in my pocket. And he turns around, but the light goes out. And I thought that was going to be the end of it, because you don't really then see them together.
Their relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little while. So then he goes to this Skull and Bones retreat where he's introduced to Clover.
Don't you dance, Mr. Wilson?
Nobody asked me.
I guess was a nickname. Her real name is Margaret. I just thought it was Clover. And she isn't about all the stuffy bullshit and pulls out his wang and rides him.
She fucks him right in the dirt.
Right in the dirt. And then he puts her down and he fucks her in the dirt.
And she's like,
do you love me?
What?
Tell me you love me. Do you love me?
with you. I love you.
I still don't believe you.
Tell me you love me. Make me believe it.
Yes.
Tell me you love me.
That was hot and psychotic.
And I was like, dude, you definitely gonna nut in her. This girl's getting pregnant.
Mhm.
There's no way this girl attacks you and fucks you in the dirt. No way you don't come in her.
Oh, God, no.
No.
Instantaneously.
Yeah. Oh, my God, I'm so sorry. You thought it was psychotic that she kept saying, tell me you love me?
I mean, it's a little, but it's super hot, too.
Yeah, I could see how, like, that would be a thing she would say.
Yeah.
Like
Like
maybe to get over the
not-
shame of having sex
like,
with
tell me
somebody
that you-
without knowing them.
Make me believe it. That's
Yeah.
where we start to get a little psychotic, but
I'm into it.
I'm there.
Dude, I'm not an Angelina Jolie guy.
Neither am I.
I don't like her.
Neither do I.
I feel really pressured to find her hot.
I
and
don't buy most of her performances.
But you like her in this?
Yes.
She's like a regular lady.
There's such an innocence to her. It's odd when she's older, when he comes back from the war.
Yeah.
Talking about in the mirror, like, hey, can you sleep in a different room? And she's very encouraging with him and the child. And
She's like a pretty real lady in this movie, and I like that about her a lot. I don't like being told, yeah, you want to fuck her, right? You want to fuck her? That's why I feel like every Angelina Jolie movie's like, come on, you know you want to
well,
fuck
because
her.
they make her cool, sexy.
Yeah.
And I don't wanted
Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
Salt.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
I never saw Salt. Did you watch Salt?
I did.
With Liev Schreiber?
Yeah. Because I wanted another fake Bourne movie. She jumps off of a bridge onto a truck. She wears a wig.
So neither of us like Jolie. We're both like, oh.
But in
yes,
here, yeah,
I
I
like
liked-
you. You're low key.
There's some nuance to her performance.
You're acting.
It isn't about her being quote unquote super hot or like a badass.
She's not wearing vials of blood around her neck with Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, and even when she's older, I think she's doing a really bang up job as being just an older lady. Oh yeah, that's milky.
It's like Dad's quick. Dad's quick smells funny.
Yeah.
Talking about the banana pudding
It
sipping
smells
cream.
actually pretty decent.
It smells like but it tastes like the rubbing out. Do you want to sip out of here? I'll share my cup with you. You got the herps?
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Do
the
you
herps
really?
and the derps. No.
Do you? Okay. I mean, I gotta check.
Because I'm black, Jason?
No, because everybody has it but me, it seems like. I don't know. Doesn't everybody have fucking simplex?
What is that?
Herpes.
Everybody's got herpes?
I think herpes is everywhere, man.
Well, isn't there like herpes C or something people got?
Oh, man. Everybody's got cold sores. Everybody's got the dick warts. I just had the same girlfriend forever.
So
She fucks him in the dirt.
and she's getting preggo.
Yeah, he busts nuts in her right away.
Yeah.
Her brother shows up while he's on a date with the deaf girl.
Yeah.
And he's like, I know you're going to do the right thing, Matt Damon.
Right.
And he looks over on the beach, and I guess she was reading your lips or just knew.
That's what I thought because she starts
saw it
walking
from a block away.
Yeah.
It's pretty sad.
It is.
It bummed me out.
It's like, what is she, Tom Cruise from Mission Impossible?
How do you feel about the way this went down? Like, do you...
Him telling him?
No. About him fucking Clover when he's dating that girl. Because, like, she shuts down the sex.
Yeah.
And then he goes there and there's this hot girl, like, being really aggressive with him.
See, that's why I thought their relationship must be over.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't seem like the kind of dude... I mean, he cheats on Clover, but it's like a very different scenario.
Yeah.
So I assumed, I guess that part of his life is over now.
Yeah.
So when he does it, then how do you think he tells her?
The deaf girl?
Mhm.
He doesn't tell her. She just walks off.
But
Well, I guess no. She just walks into the water, and that's it for her.
I guess
They probably drive back to town together.
from whence she came. So yeah, man. I mean,
It's a bummer.
so she's knocked up, and he goes, at their wedding. That's where we meet Robert De Niro.
He's got the sugars. I thought he met him
He
at
gets
this
the
thing.
letter at the wedding telling him that he has to report overseas. So they're like, hey, you need to go overseas to help us fight Nazis.
Check this shit out. Knocks her up, gets married, leaves the country for 6 years.
Yeah, I'm sure the knock-up marriage and leaving the country for 6 years, that all happens probably in a few short months. Really the only time they have together. It's probably extremely short because
It's
he's
a terrible life.
gone immediately, yeah. His son is born and is alive for several years before he even knows him,
Yeah.
sees him.
Isn't that weird that he never goes back and visits?
I don't think you can.
Why not?
Well, because you're like a spy dude, like trying to effectively sabotage and win this war.
Well, but he's not an active spy. He's part of the network behind the
He's-
scenes.
Moving and shaking. He's a kingmaker in the making. I think there's just some uncertainty to that because he isn't a military guy. So how do you get home? Right. I mean, you could, I guess.
You
jump
don't
on
want
a
to bring them
plane,
over there.
but-
They're in danger if you
God,
bring
no.
them over.
God, no. Yeah, you don't want them over there.
Oh, terrible mistake, this whole lifestyle he leads.
Impressive sets, though, because they really have some bombed out fucking buildings and on like a stretch of streets and shit. They really put in the effort on this one. So
Is there an island we can go to, like in Big Fish, and look at them?
Mhm.
What's the name of that fucking town? Silveranium?
Abbotsville?
No, that's not him.
Spectre?
Spectre. Silveranium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's in Europe. He's doing stuff, right? He is working with John Turturro, who's a no-guff New Yorker.
Anything you'd like to add?
You want to look at my ass, too?
You're working for me, Sergeant Brock.
I'm working for the United States government.
In
sir.
this office, I am the United States
You're
government.
pretty sure of yourself for somebody who just began. They wouldn't tell me your name.
Then how do you know you're not in the wrong place?
They said you were a serious SOB that didn't have any sense of humor. There can't be two of you.
And he's also got a new deaf lady in his life who is also attractive. A little bit of a Franca Potente thing going on there. You don't think so?
No.
You don't think so?
Listen, I would also stay.
Yeah.
When she's like, why don't you stay?
Yeah.
I would stay also.
Right.
She kind of looks like a middle-aged lady, though.
Yes. And she's deaf.
But she's not.
Is she not?
It's a recording device.
Is it? I mean, I know it is, but like, is it also not like amplifying what she hears
I think she's
as
a
it
liar.
records? Okay. I tell you what, she goes a little bit too hard on whatever
That dick?
Yeah. Hey, we're dating now. Like her Facebook profile's all of a sudden updated
What?
in a relationship. It's like, what?
I thought they just had the one night.
Well,
Then
they
he
had the one
then he had her
night.
murdered.
They had the one night, but she's all like into it a little too hard. Oh, we can go to the sing and be together. You know. all that
Yeah,
shit.
okay, yeah, that was a little creepy. Like she's trying to get him
It's like,
somewhere.
chill out.
However, she could easily be his like overseas girlfriend.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that's what she's.
If
It
she'd
seemed like she was angling for, but
Well, I
probably
would,
not actually.
even if she wasn't a Russian spy, I would just be a little bit concerned that she's doing this more to ensure that this American can get her out.
Okay.
Right. Survival. Charlotte Gray style. So yeah, he does know at this point. He also meets a Russian dude who's his counterpart, and it's unclear why they meet and they interface so much.
Because they're cool, and the Germans are their main enemy.
Because he's being trained by the Gambon, who he turned in.
Aren't they sharing like information? Like when you
Yeah, I think
my enemy's enemy is my friend.
I guess, and they're also maybe doing like
Kisses behind
there's
the
that,
windscreens?
but also I think they're doing like prisoner swaps.
I think that's a bit later, but yeah.
Yeah, because the Russians were fighting the Germans because the Germans couldn't get into Russia.
No.
They're like, what is this snow you
Don't-
guys got going on? over here?"
Everybody, you don't attack Russia.
No, especially in the winter.
Unless you're like Ukraine and you know
Yeah.
you're living the same terrain.
Right. And so he meets the Russian dude, but then he realizes that the broad he's banging is a spy.
Same night he fucks her.
Yeah, he looks
He
at her
says-
earpiece and he goes, "Hey, bitch, you hear me?" And she goes, "What?"
She kind of looks at him and smiles. I could still believe that maybe she didn't have full hearing.
Even still, she's got to go, and he has her whacked.
That's pretty brutal, dude. She's like, her friend comes in, like a coworker she knows, and shot right in the head.
He pees on her. It's like, damn, dude.
Yeah, dude. They always do that. Every time they kill somebody in this movie, they pee on them. That's fucked.
It is. People got to pee, I guess.
Yeah.
So whatever. You know, the war ends. Apparently, Hitler dies in this.
Supposedly. I heard he's one of those boys from Brazil.
So Matt Damon goes home, and he's got a wife and a child now. And the boy's a real creep.
The little boy? Man, that little boy makes me so sad. He doesn't mean to be a creep. He wants to be around. He's scared and confused about his dad, but he wants to be around the action. Like his dad's finally back, so he's hovering around these top secret meetings. He's interested.
Also because Angelina Jolie is doing a dude.
Yeah.
While he's gone.
Well, she should. He's been gone for 6 fucking years.
Well, and not only that, but it's not like they were in love before he left.
No.
He married her because she was pregnant.
Do they have condoms yet? They always had condoms. Why aren't people using condoms? There was always fucking
question.
some intestines you could slip over your dong.
Yeah, right? Use somebody else's dong.
I just killed this animal, ripped its guts out.
Yeah. You go get a
the shit out
corpse.
of its intestines.
You go get a corpse.
Tied it off with a
You
string.
cut off its penis.
Yep.
Clean it out.
Mm-hmm.
Sew the end closed.
Is that what you do? You cut their penis off, you gut it out, you slip it over your penis and tie the tip shut?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Works for me.
Nice.
You know?
Where's that dog?
So he's back now, and it's a little weird. He's sleeping in another room. The kid's all about him. He's about the kid, but he's also ineffectual, Matt Damon style.
Because, guys, Matt Damon is not there. This character is a nothing. He's so reserved. You get no personality. You get nothing out of this whole thing. He's just a stern statue the whole movie.
Honestly?
Huh? Yeah?
I liked him as this.
You liked this?
This role made me realize I don't really like Matt Damon.
Oh, really?
I don't like when he goes ape shit.
Fuck, I always like Matt Damon.
And him just being there, it works for me.
Man, if Matt Damon will give me a knuckle bump, I'd be pretty pumped.
Sure, you take it.
I'd be like, Matt Damon, what's up? He'd be like, and we knuckle bump. And I'd be like, peace out, liked you in glory days, bro. Bub whacker.
Yeah, right. So, he gives the kid an ornament of a ship because he erects ships in jars.
Yep.
So he gives him an ornament with a ship in it, which comes to play later on.
Yeah.
And, Robert De Niro comes around like, hey, a little bit. I need you to, be in this CIA I'm creating. A little bit. And he goes, all right, whatever.
Karen!
And so he's just super secretive. So he's doing the CIA shit, right? He sees Alec Baldwin here and there, who between the time we first see him and see him in the diner, he's got like a huge gash on his throat. And
He's got like lung cancer or something, doesn't he? He's like,
I don't
my
know.
ring doesn't even fit anymore.
He's got jaundice of the
not much
liver.
time left.
He's a big fat head like he is in real life.
Eh.
So he's trying to do the Bay of Pigs. That blows up in his face. We see Joe Pesci briefly.
So what do you want to talk to me about?
The government's about to deport you for certain activities.
I'm in this country since I'm 2 months old. Does that make me Italian?
What the fuck?
Who plays a mobster who I think is based on the real mobster who used to have casinos in Cuba that got expelled once Fidel Castro took over.
I will say it's wonderful seeing Pesci,
Mm-hmm.
and it's fucking awesome that De Niro got him out. He looks great.
First movie in 8 years.
I like his role.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
One and done.
Yeah.
And then you get to see him again in The Irishman. And he's a shrunk little mouse.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked to see a little more of Pesci in this movie.
Yeah, you get a little bit of him dropping the N-bomb. It's
I actually...
It's like, this feels like a fucking warm bath.
I somehow appreciated hearing Pesci drop the N-bomb.
Even they got their music.
Man.
No qualms about it.
I don't know why. It's just like this guy. For sure he would say that.
Yeah. Which, fair
I'm
enough.
still a scumbag.
Yeah. So all of these guys are based on real guys.
Yeah.
Or amalgamations of guys. I can't remember the fucking name of the dude, but he's based on a mob guy. And they're trying to, do the Bay of Pigs, but John F. Kennedy's like, we
can't
you
send
do
the
it.
pigs.
You do it, but we can't give you American Air Force coverage.
You need to train the Sandinistas in the woods, and we'll send them in.
Or Lisa, because I can't say Lisa, because I'm from New England.
Ah.
So that's a fiasco. He's, ever more estranged from Clover.
He starts fucking that girl again.
The deaf girl pops up. He bangs on her. They take video footage or
Of course
photography
somebody's
footage
taking a
of
picture
Of course.
of him.
She's not a plant, but of course they're all about it.
I mean, somebody's watching him at all times.
Throughout-
It's Lee Pace, I'm sure.
Oh, probably.
Lee Pace is
Or the
probably
Russians. So the
True.
Russian dude eventually is like, I want to defect, and can you take me over? And they do.
Not that Russian. What?
Yeah, the guy he met in the church in Europe, he comes to live in America.
Our guy?
The
That becomes
guy.
a problem later?
No, yes, he hasn't played the violin for him.
Oh, that guy.
That
yeah,
guy,
okay.
the
I thought
first
you were-
Russian guy.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the Russian version of him tries to defect.
Well, the guy that tries to defect says he is that guy.
No.
Yes, he is the Russian. And the guy that they give the LSD to is claiming to be the Russian that defected and has now been living with him this whole time.
I'm talking about the Russian that entraps the son.
Do you know what our code name is for you? Mother.
That's the guy who, Mother, they call you Mother.
Yeah.
I play the violin. That's him. Is it not? You know what? Who cares?
Yeah, it's true.
So this whole time, throughout the entire movie, Matt Damon has a audio recording of a tryst, and a photo that he is tasking the CIA with trying to discover the origin of.
Which is great because they keep bumping back in. They keep cutting to the audio specialist.
And it is...
And the video specialist.
Hella impressive how much they are able to glean or gleam? Glean.
Gleaming the cube.
From this photo.
Yeah.
We can tell the pattern on this drape is African. We can tell the netting is maybe in the Congolese and all of this shit, right?
We can pinpoint these 4 separate sounds that are happening and that are layered.
From the audio, we can determine the manufacturer of the ceiling fan. It's like, whoa, this shit is fucking legit.
Church bells are 2 blocks away.
Yes, we can hear a plane.
So that guy that's awesome, the guy that's telling them about everything.
Mm-hmm. One of the areas we've been focusing on is the mosquito netting. Mosquito netting is predominantly in Africa, Southeast Asia, any tropical climate. The window curtains here have a distinctive pattern on them of baobab trees, also seen in Africa.
That's Christopher Evan Welch, who did a few movies. He's in The Master, he's in Lincoln. He was the lead of Google type character in the first season of Silicon Valley.
Okay.
Really very good in that. This is breakout role. Things are going to be awesome for him, right?
He died.
Dies at age 48 in 2013.
Damn.
Dude was killing it, did all these bit parts, was finally getting the payoff, fucking dead.
Life was killing it.
Super bummer.
And I apologize if this episode is all over the place because the movie is just really difficult to... It's enjoyable, but at no point where was I ever 100% sure of any of the ancillary characters or what the hell's going on. Because at one point, it's about family.
Ride the snake.
And then it's a spy thing, They kill Michael Gambon in Europe.
Fuck, that's a pretty brutal sequence, man.
Billy Crudup. So we meet him. This is a while back.
Yeah, we never touched on
He's
Crudup.
British. He's a spy dude. He knows Michael Gambon, but he goes to Damon.
I'm afraid our dear English teacher has a bad habit of making easy friendships. I'm afraid he's not being very discriminating in his partners. Some people are extremely worried about his exposure.
He is sleeping with too many young men who are not vouched for.
They're black.
He's getting around.
Yeah.
And he has too much information to be getting around like that.
And they go, we need you to do this, but if you can't, tie your shoes. And I'm like, Callie goes, what is that? And I'm like, well, maybe it means bend over and then we'll shoot him.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought when Michael Gambon's like, you can tie your shoes.
And he even says to Damon, he goes, look, I get it. I'm about to be whacked. I think I'm about to be made. Oh, fuck, I'm whacked. And they take him, and all of a sudden, Damon gets emotional, and he goes after him, and Crudup goes after him.
Well, it's horrifying, because you spot Crudup off to the side down this smoky cobblestone
rain-drenched
by the river, and then you see Lee Pace, and Gambon's walking towards a group of
ruffians.
5 people hanging out.
Yeah.
And then they drag him in the alley is what it sounds like, but I don't think they do. I think they're attacking him right in plain view.
They drag him around the corner and under the bridge. It's unclear what they do to him.
The audio is really disturbing when you hear him screaming.
It's super loud and super long. It's
Yeah, they torture him and then throw him in the water and he sinks.
And then they throw his cane in there, and for some reason it's sticking above the water line.
Represents his cock.
Of course. Of course.
And then when it goes under, that's into him.
So, yeah, Billy Crudup is a Brit spy working with them, sharing. They're reluctant to share, but they need the Americans, so they do. And I think that's all we really see of him until the very end, right?
No, I mean, you see him before this. You see him at the We Need to Kill Michael
Right,
Gambon.
and then you see him at the smoke club or whatever they're in. Gentleman reading room or whatever. And then he pops up at close to the very end.
Well, and he
right?
shows up when the spy defects. He gives him the book, Ulysses.
True that, right.
He pops up a little bit.
Little bit. And his marriage isn't going all that great. For some reason, they don't just separate. I don't know why. It's the time, but fuck it, man. Go have sex with Cabana Boy.
Her whole life is completely wasted being with him. It's awful.
Yeah.
It's really depressing.
It is. Robert
And
Deniro,
him on his end, too. He wastes his whole life. I understand he's into the gig, but based on the ending, it's is this worth it, man?
So he's doing the photo. He's getting ever closer to unraveling it.
They're trying to figure out what this object is in the room. We've been able to figure everything out except for this one object.
Yep. Robert De Niro's losing his feet. Eddie Redmayne becomes an adult, and he wants to join the company.
He overhears them talking outside of his cabin.
He's a Skull and Bones man, so they're at a Skull and Bones thing. That's an earlier one is where Angelina Jolie approaches him with the photos of his tryst. He stops seeing that girl, I guess. You know, John Turturro's really cool. The Russian guy's there. Eventually this other guy shows up and he goes, I'm actually that Russian guy.
That one that defected, he's an imposter.
I'm him.
And John Turturro's like, well, we don't know which one of you is which, so we're just going to beat on you.
He beats on him good.
And then they're like...
He waterboards him.
Waterboarding, even back then, pretty awful.
It's not as traditional as we know it now.
But it's upsetting to watch. I felt like I couldn't breathe watching it.
It's not good. Eventually a guy comes in and he goes, hey, we got this LSD.
It's like Truth Potion.
Or something. We don't know.
And I wondered if this was that thing from the Errol Morris thing on Netflix where the guy jumps out the window. I don't think it is the same thing, but maybe they...
Could be, man.
They dose him.
They dose him big time, and
It's weird.
Gets a little weird, and then, he goes, you know what? You guys aren't going to help me. And he just gets up and jumps out the window, basically.
I am Valentin Grigorьevich Mironov, and I am free.
And dies, nude on the street.
Yep.
And the Russian dude's like, hey, man, I'll take that shit, too. I don't give a fuck. And he goes, nah, it's all right. I know you're cool. Big mistake. So, fuck, man. Angelina Jolie leaves him eventually.
She goes to Phoenix.
With her mother.
Of all places, to go live in Phoenix with her mother.
Yep.
She gets to sleep for the first time in years, she says.
She says that, and it's true. Eddie Redmayne, basically, it gets to the point where they get enough information that Matt Damon's, pretty sure he knows what's going on, right? He goes down to the Congo Leon, goes to the room, and... what does he see? What's the item they couldn't uncover in the photo?
It's like a radio.
No, it's the ship he gave him.
Oh.
Now enshrined
in
a
radio?
It's the ship. There is a radio, but they don't care about that.
No.
It's the ship.
Okay.
That he gave him as a child.
Yeah. And then he sees the hole.
And Eddie Redmayne comes in.
Him. No,
the Russian comes in.
He's like, hey, come look at this empty room over here.
I got you, bitch.
Now listen, we're going to kill your son and his girlfriend who's pregnant unless you grant me a favor when I need it. I'm not going to do that for you.
Eventually. At that point, he kind of is like, and then Eddie Redmayne comes in. And he goes, what are you doing here, man? I love this woman. And he goes, and he leaves. And Eddie Redmayne is like, hey, you know what? I'm going to marry this chick. And he goes to the Russian dude and he goes, look, bruh, I can't be your dude. But my son, he doesn't. Let them be.
Leave my boy out of it.
Right.
Specifically, leave my boy out of it.
Yeah, and he goes, there will be a time, he's French now, there will be a time when I need a favor, and I will come calling, and you will do it. And this whole time, he's mentioned violins and shit, So, while they're at the chapel, I was going to say at the theater, at the chapel, Eddie Redmayne, Angelina Jolie, the chick is taking a flight to go meet them.
This is about the only memorable thing about the movie. This is the one thing that stuck with me from the first time I watched it a decade ago.
It's horrific.
And I misremembered it completely.
You did.
I thought they were just dropping people out over the ocean. But do tell us.
You thought it was
amazing.
Bane. So she's on the plane and I'm just waiting for it to be shot down.
Yep.
To be honest. No, they just get up, grab her.
One guy kicks out the door.
And they just throw her out the plane.
And they fucking follow her, falling through the sky into the tree line.
It is incredibly long.
It's really disturbing. There's nothing you can do.
No.
You're one woman against 5 men on a plane?
I mean...
You're going out that window. The one angle you have is to maybe squirrel your way to the cockpit and kill all of you.
The thing is, if this were under other circumstances and you weren't caught off guard and thrown out, your best bet would be to try to stabilize yourself and go spread eagle to try to create as much resistance as possible to at least slow yourself down.
Catch one of those trees?
And aim for the tree. If you can't find a body of water or,
I think a tree might keep you alive more than the body of water.
I mean, it depends on how high. She didn't seem that high. But, I mean, as far as, she wasn't 10,000 feet in the air. I mean, they were thousands of feet.
She wasn't up in the Mile High Club?
Yeah, your only bet is to try to hit a tree, man, and maybe bust some shit up, but then you're busted up in the middle of nowhere.
Would this be an interesting podcast to watch on camera? You know, we talk about getting cameras.
Yeah.
You think this?
We'd need to do a little bit. We need to do it. We need to get some, that LED lighting that they do, and we need like memorabilia on the wall, and I got to do my makeup.
You gonna put the eyeliner around your eye?
Uh-huh.
The Leota?
Uh-huh.
The Nestor Carbono?
The Mandy Moore now? We can add her to the list?
Yep.
Apparently she dies, and apparently he's made aware of it, because Matt Damon rolls up, and he's like...
Silently.
Sorry, Eddie. And Callie liked the way he crumpled in Matt Damon's arms. He's almost like his feet go limp, and he's just on his toes, and Matt Damon's like literally holding him aloft.
Wouldn't you prefer it if he was a Danish girl, though?
Yeah. Now that you mention it.
Yep.
Angelina Jolie curses his name, even though he didn't really, And
I mean, it's ultimately his fault. But...
Well, yeah, it's the nature of the business.
Yeah.
Some people bring their work home. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Maybe if she wasn't fucking him in the dirt, they wouldn't be in this situation. She could have had a nice life if she didn't have to fuck him in the dirt that one day.
Why do you think she did that?
I don't know. He's not attractive or interesting. I don't get it.
No, he isn't like as rebellious, quote unquote, as she was.
It's like if you took all the personality out of Tom Ripley from the Talented Mr. Ripley, maybe.
It'd be one thing if he bucked tradition and was a little bit of a wild card, as she was. That would draw her to it.
I guess he's handsome. Matt Damon's handsome, right?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, he seems pretty everyman to me, but I think he might be handsome.
I think Ben Affleck's far more handsome.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I like him tall, dark, and smoldery, though. So.
Man, I don't find either. Honestly, between the two of them, I'm. Ben Affleck and Matt Damon are pretty asexual for me.
Yeah, I.
That's not the right word.
I can't imagine. They're like.
They get no boners out of Jason.
If they weren't famous, you'd probably be like, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, look at those completely regular guys over there.
It's an alright guy over there, I guess.
Sure.
I don't know.
I wouldn't kick him out of a plane.
No. And she did. And Eddie Redmayne's quite upset. And the CIA is now formed.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the movie.
Lee Pace takes over.
He does. He goes, hey, don't tell anybody about this. It's top secret or some whatever.
And Matt Damon, you're no longer the head honcho.
Mm-hmm.
You just run this wing. Basically, you have an office now.
Yeah, and he goes, hey, how you like them apples? Boom! You like pickles?
Oh no!
Yeah, flashbacks, baby.
Yep, I'm having them right now. That's the movie. He wasted his life being in the CIA.
Well,
he wasted
no.
Clover's life. No,
he lived his life. I think that's what he wanted to do. Ultimately,
it seemed like his. I don't know. The way he was tossed aside at the end made it seem like he wasted everything. He ruined his child's life. He ruined his wife's life.
So eventually, he, for some reason, is spurred to actually question whether or not the Russian guy that's claimed to be the Russian guy for all these years is the Russian guy that he claimed to be.
Yeah.
Goes to his office, finds the book that Crudup gave to him, and within it is, fake passports or real passports hidden. I mean, it's hard to say.
Well.
And then we find out that Crudup is now living in Moscow because he's a traitor. He ain't looking too good.
His greatest fear was being all alone with no friends.
Yeah, now he is. He's staying in a hotel in the Red Square.
With the same short hair he had in Dedication.
Yep. So he goes to the guy, hey, play the violin for me. And the guy does. And he goes, cool, I just wanted to hear one truthful thing.
You fucking liar.
Apparently he gonna be killed.
You think they're gonna pop him?
They nab him. They're gonna torture him and all sorts of...
Cut off his pee-pee.
Yeah, they gotta... Yeah. Somebody needs a condom. And that, my friend, is The Good Shepherd.
The Good Shepherd. I don't know. It seems like a Clint Eastwood movie, doesn't it? Just like a long-ass Clint Eastwood movie.
Better.
Better?
Yeah, I think the cinematography and the direction... I don't think Clint Eastwood is that good of a director.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I don't like them.
Nothing about his movies pop.
No.
This is like very muted, but
seems
it feels
like an
right.
old Hollywood tale.
Yeah, it feels like what George Clooney was trying to do with a lot of his films, especially Monument Men, which was a total
watch that?
Shit show.
I hear The Men Who Stare at Goats and Monument Men and Leatherheads. Your 3 favorite movies of all time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought them in a 3 DVD pack from the gas station.
Fuck yeah. You know what to do.
I do.
Yep.
Go to the gas station.
Old-fashioned movie. Mm-hmm. Extremely long, detailed, entertaining plot. I mean, it's a real movie.
If you told me that the cinematographer for this was also the one for Sleepers, I'd believe that. I don't know if that's true or not.
But it's not garbage like Sleepers.
No, Sleepers was just a garbage movie. This, it's very dry and straight to the point.
6.5.
The movie?
Yep.
Yes.
Because 7's like, I like this movie. Watch it. This movie is 3 hours, so I don't quite say that. But I say this is, it's pretty good.
There was a moment almost literally halfway through where I checked the time, and I was like, ooh, I'm only an hour and a half into this fucking movie, or whatever it was, hour 20 minutes. Ooh. But it wasn't like a chore.
Uprising was a fucking chore.
Mm-hmm.
I was uninterested for the whole time.
Yeah, Uprising was too matter of fact.
This I was entertained. I was interested.
Yeah,
it wasn't riveting, but I was engaged.
It utilized a lot of spy and mystery mechanics that livened the movie, because otherwise it would have almost just been like a reenactment, even though it was only loosely based on certain things. If without some of those elements, like the photograph, trying to uncover that, getting deeper and deeper into it, it would have just felt like a History Channel inner reenactment in between the historical documentary aspects of a World War II picture or whatever.
Not as good.
No, I'll go with a 6.5. That sounds fine. Yeah,
we copy each other.
Yeah,
we do that. We hear it vocalized and we say, I agree with that.
Well, the problem is you're right. I don't think it's a 7, but it's not a 6.
It doesn't deserve to be a 6. Yeah.
No.
6 is getting a little close to some turkey territory. This movie's not a turkey.
I won't go on because we haven't gotten there yet.
No, it's the future. We haven't reviewed that movie yet.
What do you give Crudup?
Oh, Crudup's pretty good.
This is, you're right. This is what I like Crudup in. Would have been nice, not necessarily in an oasis within a 3-hour-long movie. You want a little bit more of them.
Yeah.
Like Charlotte Gray kind of popping up here and there kind of a thing. But what'd you give him?
I give him a 7.
Yeah.
Like, an 8's a little bit too much. I liked him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be dishing out 8's left and right. I think 7's pretty good.
I think his accent is much firmer in this
than Charlotte Gray.
Yeah, but maybe it's only because he only needed to do it for a few moments at a time.
Several years later, man. Maybe
it's also a different sort of a accent. Yeah.
Yeah.
7?
7.
Why not?
Okay. So, I mean, would you recommend this movie?
To the right person. Callie's dad, if he hadn't seen it,
did Callie watch this with you?
Oddly enough, she did.
Oh man, Jenny
the
was
entire movie.
Wow.
She was like, I'll start it.
Jenny was like, no. Did she like it?
I think to some extent she did, yeah.
De Niro's a much better director than I would have guessed.
What else has he directed? Did we get into that? Has he directed anything else?
I think he's directed a few things. I don't remember what.
Huh.
But I've always kind of got the impression that De Niro's an idiot. Don't people kind of act like De Niro's an idiot? Like if you try to talk to him, there's nothing there?
I don't know.
He's like an amazing director, but unless you can talk about sports, he's just a blank slate. Like when he's a guest on a talk show, he's just like, yep.
That's true, yeah.
He might just be awkward. I don't think he's an idiot.
I think he...
But he also was like, he runs that Tribeca Film Fest, and he's like, I don't know, this anti-vaxxer documentary, it's got some good points, And then people are like, are you fucking stupid? He's like, I'm very sorry. I did not mean that.
I think he is the type of guy that takes a long time to read the people that he's interacting with.
Uh-huh.
When you see him on a talk show and they're like, oh, yeah, Jimmy Kimmel cracks wise. And he's just like, yeah.
I don't really want to be here.
Takes a brief moment for him to muster a response.
I got a wife. I got an art gallery. I got some restaurants.
It's almost, considering some of the movies he's in, he almost seems embarrassed to show humanity when he's not acting.
I think he might just be wildly uncomfortable.
Like you see him on, what is that, Graham Norton?
I don't watch that.
And what's his name? Tom Hiddleston.
They get people all drunk on that, don't they?
Yeah, big time. Yeah. Tom Hiddleston's doing a De Niro.
What if you do got me boxed in? I'm not going to put you down.
With De Niro in the room.
Oh, that sounds good.
And it's kind of belabored. It kind of goes on a little too long.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I like
good
this,
job,
Tom
Hiddleston.
I like this guy. He's pretty good. And then
I like him as Loki. Talking about Loki, right?
Yeah. Tommy Hiddle.
Next week, you can tune in and listen to us talk about Dedication,
mm-hmm.
the Billy Crudup, Mandy Moore movie.
Highly anticipated.
Directed by Justin Theroux. How did you guys miss this movie?
I got a good feeling about it.
How'd you miss this movie?
The reviews on IMDb.
Pretty good?
Through the fucking roof.
You guys, there's a lot of 10 out of 10s on IMDb.
We are
9 out of 10, 8 out of 10.
We are in for a treat. High energy conversation. Both of us. It's not just going to be me. This is going to be an episode to end all. Until then, however,
You can check out our Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, YouTube.
Gmail.
We do them filmographies.
Yep.
At gmail.com if you want to email us.
Yep.
Has anybody done that?
No.
No.
Reach out and touch us.
Bam, 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 bam.
Send us a cobbler in the mail.
Like a food cobbler?
Uh-huh.
Really?
Uh-huh.
You want them to send? You want strangers to send you food?
I mean, I'd throw it away.
Yeah.
But I'd keep the Tupperware.
But make you feel good?
Yeah.
That's nice. How do you find us on Twitter?
Do filmographies.
Do what with them?
Good question.
Meh.
We got a hotline.
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
763-634-1897.
One actors, 10 films a run. We doing filmographies podcast. 763-634-1897. Hey, everybody, slow down. You're going to clog up the phone lines. Why don't you leave us a voicemail? What do you want to say to us?
We are also a part of the Now Playing Network. You can find other great podcasts at nowplayingnetwork.net, like Tracks of the Damned, or The Directors Club, or Vinyl Emergency. That's 3 for you at nowplayingnetwork.net.
Well, I've been Jason.
And I've been Jules.
And what did we do?
We did Filmographies.